my Christian brothers and sisters, I need not pause to say how very delighted and honored I am to be here today and to have the privilege of sharing with you in this very significant conference. As you know, I was to be here on Thursday evening, and unfortunately, one of the most violent conflicts of our nation, even in the history of our nation, developed in Los Angeles. And as one who has consistently followed a method and a philosophy of nonviolence, I felt that it was absolutely necessary for me to respond to the invitation that came to me from the Negro leaders of that community to come and offer whatever counsel and advice that I could. There can be no gainsaying of the fact that we find ourselves in a crisis-packed day. There can be no gainsaying of the fact that we have a crisis in race relations in our country. Whenever a crisis emerges in society, the church has a specific and a great responsibility. It has a real responsibility in the midst of this crisis because the problems involved are essentially moral issues. The church, being the moral guardian of the community, cannot overlook its moral responsibility at this hour. Now, we must admit that all too often the church has been lax at this point. All too often in the midst of social evil, too many Christians have somehow stood still only to mild pious irrelevances and sanctimonious trivialities. All too often in the midst of racial injustice, too many Christians have remained silent behind the safe security of stained glass windows. But when the church is true to its nature, when it is true to the gospel of Jesus Christ, and when it is relevant, it is always active in any period of social change, seeking to guide and direct, seeking to bring the eternal verities of the gospel to bear on the particular situation. This is the great challenge facing the church today. This is the great challenge facing every Christian in these days of racial tension.